Highlights in the last game with this pick.
Yeah.
So it will be scooped up.
I'd go as far as to say, I think of players that consistently play Renekton, I think Morgan is the second best next to Rascal right now in the LCK. And I know that sounds crazy to say because he's not a popular player, and by default, people are like, well, Khan must be better. Khan's not playing Renekton right now. Morgan has played it 6 times. He's 5-1. Very impressive record. Even Dudu has a really bad record currently in the LCK. I think he's 1-6 or 1-7. His Renekton has looked very impressive despite some of the losses he's taken.
Yeah.
So I feel like Hanwha Life Esports are just super well versed with this style of play, and it works well with Udyr. You can put a lot of pressure on in the top lane, which is going to be very difficult to punish. This is very aggressive. It'll be the second time. I think it was Keria who played it the first earlier on this season. On the bottom side of the map. Very interesting pick. Feels like it could certainly be used well into the matchup, the Aphelios Thresh matchup, especially if they try to play it aggressively. And with the Udyr, it works very well. You pull somebody away, and then Udyr locks them down. You have a ton of damage output. You ult for the execute. This is not what anyone saw coming, I don't think. Mid-Mal... I mean,
is it mid-Malphite?
It could be Malphite support. And mid-Pike. It's possible.
I feel like this is going to be mid-Malphite.
I kind of like mid-Pike here, though. Life Esports in a way of, like, can you handle this? And if Koshik wasn't there at that exact time, like, he loses his farm. So it was very aggressive from Hanwha Life Esports. The end result.
Oh boy. Bao has the lantern, but he doesn't have flash anymore. And look at Vista just stands on it. First blood.
See you
as
later.
Easy as that.
And look, this is the first time, for the first time in this game, they actually had the lane pushing. They had lane prior, they had control. And this is why you don't want to play aggressively like this, especially when you uncharacteristically a few misses from Becca this game. If that grab, that hook hits at the end of it.
Neither of them have flash, and just Johan is getting right in there. He's getting a lot of damage done, actually. And I misspoke. Actually, Bao had his flash. Not going to matter, though, as they get Becca instead. And Vista is just able to clean up and hand over some extra gold.
Yep, that's the power of Pike, too. You start gonna get hooked.
Yeah, he's in a bit of an awkward spot. He eats a ton of damage here, but the rest of his team immediately follows up in the backline. But Vista is not tanky at all, and he goes a little bit too deep here. Biosik just easily able to handle that pressure. Johan kind of gets in and gets out, but we'll see if he actually does get out here, as so much burst will follow up, and down he will go. That's a nice little conversion from DRX, although the Rift Herald's eye did go to Johan.
Yeah, Johan was able to steal.
DRX are backing. Chovy's getting a lot of damage done to the turret. This is going to be Vista in an awful spot, though, a little bit too aggressive that time around. Just gets caught out. And same kind of thing happened the last time he died as well, where we saw the power of Skarner, right? Where the second he hops in, he's positioning in here, DRX, if they want to try to get this Drake as Ingo's the Impale. But there's no damage follow-up, as in the backline, there's just so much work being done by Morgan, as Kingan just gets dunked on the top side of this fight by Hanwha Life, and they're able to pull off a big kill, as now Solka over the top. That's a nice hook onto Bao. It's a big slow. That comes in with that one, and now they're going in. Do they have the damage to find the Aphelios? Yes, they do, as Johan will be on cleanup duty. And the Drake didn't go down yet, but it's going to be Hanwha Life at the end of the fight.
They aren't going to get the local gold, but also the inner turret in mid lane went down because Solka had to teleport in before the Rift Herald was taken out. So they actually lose a turret as well in this. You can see it on the mini-map right now. Now, a lot of this fight is based on Morgan, right? Koshik is trying to do his own thing, but the hard engage comes through from Morgan on the bottom side of the fight, where he's outnumbered. But because he is pulling away all the damage of DRX, the top side of the fight goes swimmingly for Hanwha Life Esports. He gives his life for this latter part of the fight to go so well. And Def does end up getting picked in this exchange. I thought this was super well handled by Hanwha Life Esports. And their macro control of how they did this with the Rift Herald was super, super impressive.
Yeah, that's it's always the really annoying move when you have to deal with that.
Between a rock and a hard place.
Ooh, DRX really committing to taking out this turret, but they may have just gotten themselves in a really awkward spot. This is just all over the place right now. Solka just dies for nothing on the left side, and take a look at the top side. Bao also gets caught out. And this fight was just way too all over the place for DRX. Hanwha Life pounce on them. And yes, Pioshik and Kishin in that case, as here we go. Everybody tries to flash away from that one. 3 flashes were used. And yes, they get away from the Malphite, but it doesn't look like they'll get away from anything else. Bao is desperately trying to carry this one, but he just cannot at this point in time. It's a bit too far gone, as you're not going to be able to run away from this comp by any means. Pyke Udyr will just laugh at you, as they're going to pick off a bunch more members. And how about a nice little Mountain Soul as the cherry on top?
Every objective belongs to them because they get this Mountain Soul, and where do you think they're going? They're going to push, like right now you see Choke.
Yes.
He's got nothing. He's going to have to back home. He doesn't have his Impale.
That's a good idea.
I don't think he's going to have it before like it's even relevant here in this game. HonolLive Esports just take this out. Soka's not here for the stun. They have this Baron wave.
Oh,
goodbye.
Boy. Yeah, 2 knockups immediately. Not able to run away from this one. Bao is so desperate to do any kind of damage, but they've been stacking armor, and nobody can do anything to the side of HonolLive, as the turrets will be knocked down. Soka and Bao desperate to try to stop them here. Do they have the damage to take it down? Yes, they do. Deft will get the final hit and end up 9-1-5. A pretty straightforward game number 2. That is going to be the 2-0 from...
like overall for DRX, but their team fights were not meaningful, right? They had a little bit of poke, they had a little bit of chip, but the engages meant that people just went 100-0 so many times for DRX.
Yeah, you know, you can have high damage numbers.